Hi, thanks for watching. This is the episode where I'm going to explain what the practice kit includes. So when your child comes home with a practice kit, there will be a piece of paper with puzzle pieces on it, and inside will be listed 6 different games they could play at home while they practice. So I'm going to explain the first one. It's called the mood cards, and inside your packet there will be a little package of mood cards. They all have excited, nervous, happy, sad, angry, all sorts of emotions that you're going to shuffle up your cards, or your student will do this. They will draw one, and I picked silly, so I would play my song kind of silly. And in this case, I'm going to play the Linus and Lucy song. They can play it however they want. They could play it up high, they could play it down low. If you happen to hear that and you're like, that does not sound like the right song to me, that might be the game that they're playing. So just kind of to give you a heads up of what to expect. So the next game that you could play, I'm going to explain, is called 3 in a Row. So what you're going to do, your student will pick a section that they're working on, and they're going to put the 3 dice on the left side of the panel here, okay? So if they're still working on Linus and Lucy, and this section here is really tricky for them, and that's the section they're going to work on, they're going to pick that section and try playing it correctly. If they play this section correctly, pick up a dice and move it to the right side of the piano. Then they're going to try it again. Oops, I made a mistake. So, in that case, they have to move this dice back. Okay? So their goal is to move all 3 of these die over here to the right side of the piano if they've played it correctly 3 times. So they'll play correct, over, correct, over, correct, over. Okay? The next one that they could do is dice game. So you're going to play this with 1 or 2 dice, and you're going to pick a section of music that you're working on. So in this case, we're going to try another song. Say they're working on We're Off to See the Wizard, okay? Right? So they're going to pick maybe the first section, and when I say section, I'm talking about like measures, or like the little houses of music, okay? So maybe they're working on this intro, da 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 da. So in that case, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8-ish, 9. Okay, so they have their section that they're going to work on. They're going to try to then play the section correctly. And if they play it correctly, they're going to add the number on the dice. So that's where the dice come in. So they'll roll the dice. In this case, I rolled 4. So 2 and 2. So if I play that section correctly, I get to add 4 points to my little tally. And here's the opponent. So they're kind of racing against each other, or they could have you sit with them and you could be the opponent and this would be them. So you, the student, and the opponent is probably the parent or a sibling, if you have siblings practicing. So in this case, we'd go, and I played it correctly. So then in your practice packet will be a marker. Your child can then write 1, 2, 3, 4 points for them, and play that section again, or choose another section. Does not matter. You're going to repeat this until one of these people, the student or the opponent, has 30 points. Okay? The other one that they could play would be Chop Suey. Chop Suey is where you divide your music up into 10 sections. So mark the numbers in pencil on the music. So they're going to need to mark maybe this section that we just played is 1, this is 2, 3, 4. There needs to be 10 sections. This is really good for the older students because there's definitely always going to be 10 sections in their piece. For the littler ones, it might be harder, but you could divide it every 3 measures or something. the students, we will have gone over these in the lesson, so they'll know what they're doing. This is kind of more for you as a parent to know what they're supposed to be doing. So in this game, there's going to be a stack of cards that they need, and they're going to draw a card, and it will tell them what section they're going to practice. In this case, like if they draw a, let's say, a 5, they're going to play section 5. If they draw a 3, they'll practice section 3. Now, the challenge is there's also a jack, a queen, and a king. If they pull a king, they have to play the complete piece. If they pull the queen card or jack card, they only have to play the first section. But if they pull a queen, there's a queen. The queen is play the last section. So these are like extra cards in there besides the numbered sections of your music 1 through 10. So that's how that little game will work. That's called Chop Suey. I think because you're just chopping up your music into little pieces. That's my guess. Okay, Beat the Dealer is played also with the dealer card, with the playing cards. So what you're going to do is you're going to mix up your cards, or your student, I keep saying you, but I'm envisioning maybe the student and parent would play these games together, or the parent will be nearby and can help. So you're going to play a section of your piece. Let's choose a new one here. How about Inspector Gadget? Let's see if anyone remembers that. So I'm going to just play the first part, and that's going to be my designated section. So for this one, you're going to try to beat the dealer, and the dealer being an imaginary friend, okay? So you're going to deal 3 cards. Student will deal 3 cards, and in this case I pulled a 4, a 4, and a jack. In this game, jack, king, queen, ace, they're all going to be 11. And so this would be 11 plus 4, so I'm up to 15, plus 4 is 19. Hopefully my math is correct. All right, so the dealer, this imaginary dealer, is going to sit here. He has 19 there. And you're going to play this game until you, as the player, has more points than the dealer. So here's how you would do it. My section is the first part of Inspector Gadget. And I played that wrong. So in this case, I have to take another card from the deck and add it to the dealer. Now he has 11 more points. Okay, so I'm definitely not winning. I'm going to try that section again. So in that case, I could choose any of these cards to put over here, wherever you want, maybe beside you. And now you, as a student, have 11 points. Then we're going to do it again. All right, and I played it right again, which means I'll probably take another jack because it's 11 points, which then gives me 22 points against 8. So the dealer only has 8. I have 22, which means I, the student, win. And you could play that again, another round of it, and see what happens with a different section of your music or the same section, as long as you want to. Okay, so that would be a game called Beat the Dealer. The last game in the practice kit is called the lap, and this is a test to play with a song that you know really well. So you pick a song that you're really good at. Let's go back to We're Off to See the Wizard. Alright, so you're going to start playing from anywhere in your music, so not at the beginning. This is a really good activity for a student who is really hung up on going to the beginning. If they make a mistake, they always go back to the beginning. So in this case, they're going to choose maybe measure 23. Just completed a lap, and you're going to start playing from that random section and do a lap and get to the same spot at the end, and you just do that lap game as many times as you want. So starting at some place other than the beginning and going to the end, which is called a lap. So they'd start at maybe measure 23 to the end, or 18 to the end, and I didn't go to the end of that song, so you probably didn't recognize that song part at all. But you just pick a random starting point anywhere in the music, play from there, and complete a lap until the very end of the piece, okay? So that's the lap game. There's 6 in the practice kit, and if you have further questions as a parent, just email me and say, what is going on? I don't understand this part of the game. But other than that, it should be pretty self-explanatory in the little the game rules in your kit that your child brings home, along with all these supplies. They will all be in here, so don't worry about finding a deck of cards or dice. They will all be in here, and all the supplies are put together for them. Which brings me also to the point that I would really appreciate if you keep these all in this, let's see if I can get this, in this little packet. Keep track of all of these, because this is not only for your student. This is something that I lend out to you as a family, because you're part of my studio. It's included in the cost of lessons. I don't charge extra for you to take this and use this for as long as you need it, but I do ask that you take care of it and keep track of all the pieces and return it back to me. I'll have a sticker with my studio name on it, so you know that it comes back to me, and I appreciate that, because then I can use this with other students. So that's it for the practice kit explanation. I hope it helps, and happy practicing.